Oh, Dr. Luxia, good evening.
What's our current status?
Everything's going as planned. At this rate, we should be able to have the subject online ahead of schedule.
Excellent. Let us prepare for the final stages of development.
Emergency. Breach in Block 28.
10, what's going on?
A creature has escaped from the testing facility.
Lock down the lab. I'll take care of this.
Gah! Out of my way! I'm trying to escape this place!
Sorry, but that's not happening.
Yeah? And who's gonna stop me? Some frail nurse? Don't make me laugh.
You're welcome to try.
Neko Driver!
Let's begin your checkup, shall we?
Okay, ready!
Hezzy!
Get equipped! Armor 0!
Who the hell are you?
Part-time nurse, part-time e-girl, all times cat girl hero. Common VTuber 0. Examination, begin.
Good afternoon, everyone. How's everyone doing? Hope you're good. Hi, Paris. Hi, Gazy. Thank you, Hayabusa Sanamoe, for the follow a day ago. And thank you, BJ Alex MD, for the follow 9 minutes ago. Hi, Claire. How are you? How is One-sama today? Hi, Sadako. Oh, I love it. You have the little tentacle emote. Ooh, that's so cool. I'm gonna pull myself up before I talk about it. So, okay, I didn't mean to wink there, but sure. Hi, Turtle. So how am I? That's a good question. So last night was my one roommate's birthday. Well, that's what you like to be called, so that's what I'm going to call you. And no, it wasn't because I drank too much before I get into this. No, that wasn't it. Before we went out, I had a bit of a migraine. So we did karaoke, did some singing for a bit. Okichiro D, which is at KZ. And, so we
Welcome to the Hunter Base. Time for your checkup.
Invidious M, thank you for the follow. Welcome to Hunter Base. And let's see. Then after, I'm not super sick. I'll get to it. So I had a migraine. We did karaoke and it was okay. I had a couple of drinks, but only like 2 drinks the whole night. And then we went and we played pool. Still had a migraine. My migraine was getting worse. It was doing the whole surround the back of the head thing. Yeah, I know it is. And so when I got home, I was like, oh man, I feel like absolute crap. Oh my god, is that the arrow in my chat? Man, there's so many people here today. Jeez. Which I'm glad, because this game is a game that I helped work on. I was somewhat involved in. Oh, I love this game. Looking forward to your playthrough. Thank you. The game was made by one of my closest friends. And I made the opening to the game. The intro. I also made the trailer. I did buy the game off Kickstarter. I backed the Kickstarter. The character we're about to see, I have the waifu pillow of them on my bed. This is the only waifu pillow I have. The character we're about to see. So what I think I'll do is, before I start playing the game, I'll show you guys the intro for those of you who missed it, the opening. I did the video editing on this game, so I also voice a minor character which has yet to show up, but yes, I'm in this game as well. So the game we're playing is Gaikokujin no Sensei. It basically translates to foreigner teacher. To get everybody caught up to where we were last time, your girlfriend leaves you, you lose your job all in the same week. You go to the mall to try to find a new job, and the only one you find is from basically a pilot program where you can teach English in Japan. Somehow you manage to pass the test and you get to Japan. We've met 2 girls so far. We've met Kotone, the sassy green-haired Kotone. And we've also met Makiko, the gets easily embarrassed gym teacher, who's adorable. And I guess, according to Brandon, the game's creator, has kind of become a fan favorite. So we'll see what happens. But just before we play the game, I'm going to play the opening to the game. I think I can get to it from the options menu. We'll see here in a second. You know what? Let me just switch over to the game so y'all can see. Let me just go over to... Bam. Yeah, Makiko's kind of become a favorite. Let's see. Options. Can I look at... No. I thought you could see videos in here. Well, I do want to load my save. But before we do that, I'm going to show you guys the opening of the game. It isn't me. No, it isn't me. So let me just, real quick, I'm going to just turn game capture off for a second. I'm going to load. Ironically, I already have the tab for the on my YouTube channel, because I uploaded the trailer to my YouTube channel. Open in the background. Window capture. I'm going to choose. There we go. Okay. So for those of you who missed seeing the intro of the game, I'm going to play it for you right now. I'm just going to turn this down to about here.
違う二人なのに大丈夫君がここにいることが重要さお金が欲しくない何もいらない君の手好きさえ聞けばいい
So, yeah, so just to answer some of the some of the things you guys are saying in the chat here. No, not a cat girl, fox girl. Yes, busty fox girl. Yeah, so let's not waste any more time. Let's get in there. Oh, thank you. I tried. I'd never made a trailer or a game intro before. But my buddy was, he's like, I need somebody to edit these things for me. And I'm like, okay, I'll do it for you. Just did it as a favor to him. Anyways, let's load where we were. We got, where we left off.
しすべきもの。今日はあなたは良好であります。神様があなたに微笑んでくれました。それゆえ、理解さえできない脅威を経験します。
So before she interrupted me, where we left off, we were basically going to the, what's the word I'm looking for? We were basically trying to go register at the town hall because it's something you have to do in Japan. You have to register at the town hall, your local prefecture, to say that I live here now. But Makiko, the gym teacher, gave us directions, and she told us to get off on the wrong bus. So we ended up like an hour away from town in the forest. We tried walking back, and our legs were tired, and we fell down a hilly cliff, and we saw this little shrine thing. It was covered in weeds and stuff, and we're like, all right, I don't know why, but I'm going to take the weeds off this. And then we heard this strange voice. I wonder who it could be.
我が合流の話はあなたの国で末永く続きます。
A voice seemingly out of nowhere begins to speak a long string of Japanese, all of which I have no idea of what she's saying. Wait, is someone else here in the woods with me? Why would someone be here too? Oh, also, our character can't speak any Japanese. Mustering up my courage, I peek my head around the corner of the tree. Oh my, there she is. And yes, I have a waifu pillow of this character because it was a Kickstarter reward. And they're going to be restocked eventually. We're actually working on that right now. As I do so, I'm greeted by the sight of a woman. She seems to be sitting on top of the small shrine that I had just ripped the vines off of. Was that shrine big enough to support the weight of a human? Wait, that's not the question I should be asking myself. The woman appears to be wearing a long Japanese dress. I think they're called kimonos. Her features appear to be more mature in nature. The top part of her outfit leaves little to the imagination, as she definitely seems to be more endowed in some places than I've seen since coming to this country. The thing that by far confused me most are the fox ears sticking out of her head and the long bushy tail coming out of her back. I rub my eyes once again to make sure that light didn't start causing me to hallucinate. I look back, nope, she's still there. That's a weird costume. Maybe there's a festival going on around here or something? All the while this is going on, this woman is still going on with her monologue, leaking in every direction, except for me. Finally, I gulp and tentatively take a few steps forward. As I generally take a few steps forward, I notice that the woman is still talking to seemingly no one in particular, as if she's performing a theoretical monologue she had been practicing for weeks.
私たちの運命は つながっています。選ばれたあなたと精霊の私。出会いが永遠に忘れられない不運の恋人の物語。
Finally, after what seems like an eternity of incomprehensible dialogue, her golden eyes turn to me. And as they do, her mouth freezes in mid-word. Gingerly, I wave my hand towards her. Hi. I say so quietly, I'm not even sure that she hears me.
Gaikokujin?
She replies nearly as quietly. Color quickly drains from her face. She shakingly raises a finger towards me.
あなたは外国人ですか?
Confused, I scratch my head. Oh right, my book. I quickly think to myself as I reach into my pocket. Pulling out the book, I flip through the pages. Gaikokujin, Gaikokujin. Ah, here it is. Oh, foreigner. I turn back to her. Hi. I reply simply. As the word exits exits my mouth, I see her shoulders slump as as it seems that all the air deflates out of her. I am so confused right now. I look back towards her. I reach my arm out. Hey, are you okay? Before my hand can reach her, though, she immediately drops down behind the shrine. I can still see her form behind the shrine as she crouched down, holding her head.
いや、不可能です。選ばれた人が彼ってこと？きっと神様が間違っています。はい、そうですね。神様に伺ったら、きっとこの誤解を説明します。
Right. I'm just gonna go that way. Even though she's not looking at me, I say this out loud regardless, pointing my thumb back towards the street. Leaving her behind to do whatever, I make my way back towards the street. I don't know whether I was still in shock or whatever, but random girls in fox costumes showing up out of nowhere should be throwing me for more of a loop than I am, but maybe my head's still rattling from the fall. After about 5 seconds of walking, suddenly from behind me, I hear a loud electrical zap. Quickly, I whip back around to see the light coming from behind the shrine. Accompanying the light, which was far more frightening, is a scream. Did that girl just get struck by lightning? I quickly turn my eyes to the sky. No, not a single cloud. What in the hell is going on? Against all better judgment, I rush back towards the woman. Oh no, she's dead. Hey, are you okay? I ask, concerned and loudly. Upon reaching the shrine, I whip myself around it to see the woman, and then now having a slightly singed kimono and some blemishes on her face, appears to be alright. I repeat myself. Hey, are you okay? Or, dude, you could just say, Oi! Daijoubu! This time her eyelids start to flutter as they slowly open. As she looks up at me, I notice the twinge of red start to appear on her cheeks. Suddenly, as if breaking out of a trance, she bolts up upright and looks at me, staring me straight in the eyes as she puffs out her cheeks. Seeing her politely chastise me, or poutly chastise me, I can't help but laugh. Does she think I was the one who just shocked her? As I laugh, this apparently makes her more infuriated as she begins to shiver with irritation. As quickly as she starts, however, she stops. Suddenly, her eyes go wide. She then looks up at the sky. Exhaling an audible sigh, she then turns back to me. In an instant, her entire disposition changes, her gaze softens, her posture adjusts, and I can swear her smell changes slightly too.
今のはごめんなさい。ただ、びっくりしました。あなたに得られました名誉は人類初です。今日は 神様はあなたに微笑んでますね。今日は私と一つになって走行渡航圏の時代を生み出します。
Oh, KZ, I almost forgot. Let me do your ara ara. Oh no, wait, you wanted an uwu, didn't you? Well, I'll do the ara ara as an extra one. Yeah, you wanted an uwu. Uwu. Oh, whoa. See, there, you guys got a free ara ara. She's getting closer and closer to me. Her kimono opened slightly at the top, revealing deep cleavage, but she doesn't seem to mind. I chuckle nervously, as that's the only thing I can think to do, as I'm so confused. Suddenly, I nearly dropped the thing I was holding in my hand. Oh, right. Quickly, I pull the book in between us, which seems to shock her. I flip through the book until I find the page. I clear my throat. Nihongo ni hana sumimasen. Free. Oh my. Oh my. Lucky you, chat. Suddenly, she freezes as if she were made of stone, and a cold wind blows through the trees almost to a comical effect.
あなたは日本語に話しませんか?
She asked as if making sure she heard correctly. Since she was using the words I just said, I assumed she was making sure she heard me correctly. I nod once. Her face becomes extremely flushed at a point as beads of sweat start falling down from the top of her face and her eyes start to almost swirl. As if she were clinging to a life preserver, she grabs onto my shoulders.
あなたは日本語が話せないとはどういう意味ですか?
I stare at her confused. Seeing my abject confusion, she lets go of me and turns back around, holding her head.
嘘ですよね。嘘ですよね。
She mumbles to herself as she holds her head. Are you okay? Does your head hurt? Trying to regain her composure, she turns back to me after taking a deep inhale.
エッチしたい。
Her voice once again changes as she asks me this. This time, it's far more sultry as she begins to pull the sides of her kimono down. Is she, like, trying to seduce me or something? No, this is way too weird. Are you trying to seduce me, Mr. President? I know you know those words, Sadako. I don't know exactly what her game is, but I'm sure as hell not going to play it. Seeing my look of astonishment, she places a smile back on her face. Lowering her kimono even further to the point where I am starting to get more than just a little show, she then stops and begins to move behind the shrine, gesturing for me to follow her. I've seen way too many horror movies to know where this is going. As soon as she's out of range, I turn around and make a sprint towards the street. Didn't even bother to look behind me to see the look on her face, but I can only imagine it's probably hilarious. Within a few moments, I can hear another loud crash. The light that emitted from it was so bright that I could see it in front of me, despite coming from behind. I began to slow my pace until finally I dare look behind me. There, about 30 feet behind me, is the woman lying face first on the ground. Her arm outstretched to me, her clothes even more covered in scorch marks than before. I look back and forth. No one else seems to be ready to jump at me from the shadows. At least that I can tell. I know it's stupid, but maybe this time she's really hurt. I can't believe this girl got hit by lightning twice in a row. Isn't that mathematically impossible? I take a few tentative steps forward. She doesn't seem to be moving as I make my way closer. Acting as if she were a trap about to snap, I slowly, very slowly edge towards the woman. I slowly nudge her with my toe. No response. I inhale slightly and bend down. Hey, you okay? Before I can even finish my question, the woman pops back up as if spring-loaded and grabs me by the collar. Whoa, hey! This time, though, her face seems more determined, biting her lower lip in frustration.
やりたい。
Okay, Sadako, you got it. I merely stare at her in confusion. I swear I can almost see a vein start to form on her forehead. She released me and puts her hands on her hips. She then points to me.
あなた
She points to herself.
私
She then makes a circle with her left hand and sticks out her pointer finger with her right. The woman proceeds to move the finger in and out of the circle.
成功
I hit my open palm with my hand in an aha moment. Oh, she wants to sleep with me. Wait, she wants to sleep with me? I quickly pull out my Japanese phrase book and flip through it like a madman. I look from the book to her. Wakarimasu. Hearing this word come out of my mouth, the woman just sighs deeply in relief. Before she can say anything else, though, I speak first. Domo ie keko desu. The woman's relieved smile is replaced with a look of confusion. She asks, this time looking at me as if she didn't hear me correctly. Huh? Maybe my accent was off. I look at the book again. Keko desu. I say this time, making sure I get the correct pronunciation down. The woman blinks a few more times.
いえ、結構です。
She repeats my words as if she had never heard them before. She's not used to getting rejected. Was my Japanese really that bad? I mean, probably, but still. Right. Well, I mean, you probably don't understand me, but I'm gonna get going. I have to get home. I gesture towards the street. Good luck with, well, whatever you're doing. Finishing this, I give her a wave and turn around, my head back towards the street. I barely make it a few steps before I hear a voice behind me.
ちょっと待って
I look behind me, and this time I see the woman following me, her cheeks puffed in irritation.
とはどういう意味ですか
I sigh with irritation and keep walking towards the street. She tries to grab my arm, but this time I don't even look back and shrug it off. Thankfully, in a few moments, I'm able to make it back to the road. I look both ways. Something glistens to my right down the road, catching my eye. I feel like I'm going to shed a tear with happiness as I spy the reflective glass panel of a bus stop. Oh, thank God. I say as I make a run towards the bus stop. This seems to be very fortuitous timing, as just as I make it to the bus stop, I can see the headlights of an approaching bus. I look backwards frantically to see if the woman is still following me, but to my great relief, she no longer seems to be there. Later to deep sighs, the bus pulls up and stops. I don't think I've ever been so happy to see a bus driver in my life. I give him a wide smile as I drop the money into the slot. Arigato. I say more than a little enthusiastically as I hop on and find a seat in the back of the bus. Now safe inside the bus, headed home, I pant heavily. Man, I'm more exhausted from my little adventure than I realized. I pull on my shirt collar, loosening my tie slightly. I close my eyes and let the sound of the bus take me away.
どこに行きます
A voice next to me says, thinking they have been speaking to someone else. I ignore it. Wait a second. I recognize that voice. My eyes shoot open as, surely enough, the woman seated next to me, staring right at me. Blah! Yes. I scream unintentionally as I fly to the seat to the left. This is sudden. It almost causes the bus driver to swerve. Concerned suddenly, the bus driver says something in Japanese. Looking back at the bus driver, I quickly pull out my translation book. Gomen, daijoubu. Seemingly satisfied with this, the driver turns back. What are you doing here? I ask her in a loud whisper. She stares at me blankly, obviously not understanding a word I'm saying. I slap my head in my forehead and slide it down along my face. I pull up my book again. Naze anata wa koko ni imasu ka? Sorry if my pronunciation's bad. I'm not fluent in Japanese. I have a bit of trouble with this phrase, but I think she gets the overall point. She looks at me with a soft smile and suddenly grabs my arm.
どこにも連れて行きますハニー
Ooh. She adds what sounds like an awful lot like honey at the end. I do my best to move my arm out of her grip, but there's not a lot of room to move. Having completely giving up at this point, I merely sit there and let her hold my arm for the duration of the trip. After what seems like an eternity, we approach the station, which I had originally left from. Upon reaching the station, I begin to stand up. Okay. Oh, did I skip that? Did I say that last line? Hold on. Back. Seeing this, the woman next to me begins to move as well. As I walk forward towards the front of the bus, she releases my arm. Stepping off, I look behind me, expecting to see her, but to my surprise, she's no longer there. Through the relief, I take a few steps away from the bus. However, my relief is short-lived, as once the bus pulls away, she once again appears to my left. Tired and extremely defeated, I begin my walk home, trying my best to create some distance between me and her. The entire walk home, I keep looking over my shoulder to see if the woman is still there. And every time I do, she's still behind me, looking at everything that we pass by in town with awe. If I weren't so worried at the moment, it might have been kind of cute. When I'm about a few blocks away from my apartment, I turn back to her. Look, I know you can't understand me, but I'm absolutely not going to sleep with you. So, can you go? You can go now. Move my hand to a shooing motion. Strangely enough, this seems to make her smile as she moves closer to me. The hell? Wait, no, I said shoo. I make the motion again. Still doesn't seem to be working. I can feel a vein start to grow on my forehead. The hell is this? Opposite day? With great irritation, I trudge towards my apartment. Upon reaching the door, I turn back to her. I dig into my pocket and pull out my book. Flipping through the pages, I find what I need to read the passage quietly to myself. I inhale as I put the book down to look at her. Watashi wa chu ni hate imasu. Anata wa dankuraba naroni. Even though my Japanese pronunciation and grammar is terrible, I'm pretty sure she got the message, and she puffed out her cheeks in irritation. Turning back to the door, I reach in my pocket for my key. To do so, I look backwards one more time. This time, I'm surprised to see that the woman is now gone. My eyes grow larger as I look around. I head around the corner, looking everywhere a person could possibly hide. Nothing. I let her in an appreciative sigh. Thank God, she must have finally gotten the message. I say to myself, allowing a small smile to cross my face. Using the key, I put it in the lock and turn it. As I begin to undo my tie, I open the door with my free hand. As I do, I hear a voice.
Okaerinasai.
Hearing this voice, I freeze in mid-pose. Looking dead ahead, sitting on her legs, is a woman looking up at me with a smile. Oh, God. I immediately look behind me to the open doorway and back to her. What the? How did... I can't even formulate proper words at this point.
おかえりなさい、あなた。ご飯を食べる？お風呂にする？それとも、私？
Yes, 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 yes. As she says the three last syllables, she begins to put down the front of her kimono seductively. I can feel my eye begin to twitch in frustration. That's it. I've had enough. I seriously can't deal at this point. Slowly, I take a few steps over to her. Placing down my bag, I reach down and pick up the woman bridal style? Oh, okay.
強いですね。どこに連れて行くのでしょうか?
Even if I couldn't understand what she was saying, I would ignore it. I can guess the general gist anyways. As I pass through this doorway, I place her out of my apartment and shut the door, leaving her outside. Stepping back into my apartment, I rub my hair with my hand. Jesus, what is wrong with some people? Picking up my bag, I take a few steps into my bedroom.
どこに来て? Honey.
There, lying on my bed, her kimono half off, is the woman. I freeze where I stand, my mouth agape. Is this lady a freaking ghost or something? quickly try to regain control of the situation. I pick my book back out and look for a word, finding the word. I put the book back in my pocket. I cough into my hand. I point to the front door. Saru! Suddenly, and without warning, tears begin to fill the woman's eyes. She moves into a different pose, supporting her weight with one hand and lightly biting down her finger with the other. She then looks up at me with moist eyes.
醜いって思いますか？
I raise my eyebrow. Minikui? Pick my book back out. Oh, ugly. Okay, she's basically asking if I think she's ugly. I look back at her with my best deadpan expression. Hi. Wow, he's really trying to get rid of her. Once again freezes in place, stupefied expression stuck on. I point to the door again. Saru. Immediately, she hops off her bed and comes over towards me. As I raise my free hand to gesture once again, I feel her hand placed upon mine as she yanks it towards herself. Places her hand directly onto her chest. If she does this, the entire room goes dark. Seriously, what the hell is going on? I use the ensuing confusion to rip my hand away from her and move several feet away. That's when I hear another strange voice come through the darkness.
数分だけ待てないの。
After a few moments, the darkness of the room begins to dissipate as the light comes back to full power. My eyes turn towards the open doorway. Standing there is a woman who lazily has her arms crossed and she's leaning against the door frame. With the exception of a pair of fox-looking ears and a tail, this woman bears no resemblance to the other one. For one, she's built like a stick. Wow. Secondly, her outfit is far less orient than the other woman's, and her hair looks like it's lost a fight with a weed whacker, as well as fell into a vat of food coloring. The one thing that really catches my attention, though, are her eyes. One is a dull silver, the other one is a bright red. Oh great, another crazy lady who I can't understand that just breaks into my place. Just what I needed. The new woman's eyes open up slightly larger as she notices the other woman standing by herself. Standing in the room quickly, she looks over to me.
外国人。
She puts a hand over her chin.
面白いですね。
She then looks at me.
あれ、なんでそこで立っているの？
Once again, I have no idea what is being said. I should learn some Japanese. Rub my temple with my forefingers. Point I basically memorized this phrase. Nihongo ni hanahimasen. Hanihimasen. I say this time with a bit more irritation than I mean to. There's a short silence.
Oh, you don't speak Japanese? How about English?
Immediately, my head jerks upwards. I turn towards the girl who tilts her head. I make a beeline for her. Wait, you speak English? Oh my god, thank you! I get extremely close to her as I grab her hand by the shoulders without even thinking about it. What is going on? Who is this crazy lady? Why is she trying to sleep with me? How did she teleport into my house? Why did she get struck by lightning? I ask a million questions before the poor woman even has a chance to respond. As I'm holding her, she faces seems to get a bit red. She faces seems to get a bit red. She faces seems to get a bit red. Brendan, you're an English major. Her face seems to get a bit red. Upon composing herself, however, she manages to push my hands away from her. Deftly. Okay. She doesn't seem mad, however. In fact, she's smirking. Looking over at the other woman, a devilish grin crosses her face.
じゃあ、英語の勉強全部無駄だったってこと？
Not sure what the woman said, but it causes the other woman to huff and puff out her cheeks. She then looks back to me.
Right. I'll give you the short version. My name is Fumo. This is Aina. If you couldn't guess by now, we're not exactly what you would call human. We're spirits.
Spirits? Like ghosts? The woman calling herself Fumo crossed her arms as if annoyed.
Not ghosts. We're not dead people. We're like...
Thanks for a moment for the best words.
I guess you could say we're nature spirits. Or maybe goddesses. I'm sure I'm losing something in translation, though.
Points to the other woman.
She is the spirit of fertility. I'm the opposite. I'm the spirit of infertility.
So, what does that have to do with me? I asked rather curtly.
I'm getting there.
She responds equally as curt.
Every 300 or so years, Aina over there comes to the mortal realm to, well, breed with a human. She brings a new spirit into the world, and the world has fertile fortune for the next 300 years.
I blink at her in abject shock. Someone told me once not to interrupt a crazy person, though, so I figured I'd play along. Okay, let's say this is all true. What are you here for? She says at her side as if I were a student who answered a really easy questioning.
I'm basically here to try and stop her. If I can stop her from breeding with the chosen male for a year, then I win.
And I assume that means 300 years of infertility? Fumo shrugs.
I suppose.
What do you mean by you suppose? I asked, confused. At this, she rubs the back of her neck, embarrassed.
Well, to tell you the truth, I've never won before.
I look back at Aina and then back to Fumo. Seriously? Her only response is to tighten her crossed arms and blush slightly. I put my fingers to my temple. So let me get this straight. You're both spirits who come here once every 300 years. This one over there wants to get pregnant from a guy who's randomly chosen, and you're supposed to basically be the one who tries to break it up for a year. That about right? She nods. So answer me this. Why did she get struck by lightning earlier? It's her head. She seems to slightly confuse her.
Lightning? That only happens when...
She looks back from her to me.
Did you try to leave her?
Twice. I say, holding up 2 fingers. First, Sumo starts a small giggle before eventually fall out laughing. What? What's so funny?
I'm sorry, it's just... That only happens when you're separated from one of us by more than a few meters. You mean you actually...
She laughs again. So wait, that means I'm either stuck with you two for a year or make a baby with that lady over there. Fumo nods.
That's about the size of it.
I sigh. Well, even if I were to believe you, which I'm still on the fence about, there's a problem with that. I'm not going to sleep with her. This seems to catch Fumo off guard as she looks at me genuinely confused.
Wait, what? You're not? Why not? You're not in a relationship, are you? No, they wouldn't have picked someone who was.
Looks over at me as if trying to find a clue to something.
Oh, do you like men?
I mean, yes, but... What? No! She deflates thinking she had figured out the answer.
Then, why?
Did you honestly just ask me why I wouldn't sleep with a random woman who shows up in the woods? Besides, why are you questioning it? If what you're saying is true, isn't it your job to have me not sleep with her?
Huh? I mean, yes, technically it is, but I haven't ever really gotten the chance to try before.
This part trails off.
I mean, normally at this point, they're usually already, you know.
She bumps her fists together for emphasis. Well, that was an image I didn't need, thank you. Suddenly her cheeks go bright red.
An image you didn't need? I actually have to be there.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Being forced to watch your rival get plowed for an eternity, I honestly can't think of a worse hell. Oh, fuck. So, since she's not going to win, can you just call it for you guys and go home? And turns back to me.
Unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. It's one or the other.
Of course that's how it works. Well, I'm exhausted. I need to take a shower. Can I ask you for a favor? Pauses for a moment, confused.
You want a favor from me?
Well, it's not so much a favor, I guess, but maybe your job? I don't know. Point is, I can't keep crazy over there away from me while I... Can you keep crazy over there away from me while I take a shower? She looks between her and me before raising an eyebrow.
You sure you're not into men?
I lower my eyelids to half. Yes, Fumo, I'm sure I don't like men. With that, I head to the bathroom and close the door behind me. As I undress, I step into the shower. What in the hell is going on? I ask myself, exhausted both mentally and physically. Here I thought I was getting lost in the woods was the weirdest thing that was going to happen with me today. Now I have 2 random spirits showing up, apparently live in my house for the next year. And the worst part of it is on the bus and on the walk home, nobody seemed to notice or even see Ina. So that might mean that only I can see them or something if I say anything. I'll probably just look like I'm crazy talking to thin air. The last thing I need in my life right now is to be hauled away at a crazy house in a different country. Okay, calm down. Seriously, bro? You can deal with this. My character's name is Seriously Bro, by the way. I finish my shower, dry myself off as I get into my pajamas. Upon exiting the shower, I notice Ina laying seductively on my bed, while Fumo is lying on the floor. Turn my head towards Fumo and point towards the bed. Fumo, what's she doing on the bed? Fumo's looking at me, looking at one of the books I had brought with me. She stops and looks from her to me.
She said that if she couldn't meet with you in the shower, she was going to wait for you on the bed.
I let her out a sigh. Take a few steps over to Ina, grabbing the end of the covers. I begin to roll her up in it until she's fully rolled up like a sushi, and then unceremoniously shove her off the bed. I turn back to Fumo. Fumo, you want the bed? Raises her eyebrow and pushes it forward.
Seriously?
Well, I sure as hell can't use this bed because I know that crazy girl over there is going to try something while I'm asleep. There's no way I'm going to let her have the bed as a reward. It only makes sense to let you have it. She looks over from the bed to me.
Where are you going to sleep?
I have a sleeping bag. I'll sleep on the floor. Fumo puts her hand on her chin as if deep thought, then speaks again.
Well, if you slept on the floor, there's a strong possibility she'll merely come at you there.
I didn't think of that. Well, what should I do? Fumo puts her finger in her lips, pauses for a moment as if only coming to one answer, exhales deeply, twinge of red on her face.
You'll have to sleep in this bed with me.
How is that any better? All right. See you later, Rimvidus. I hope I said your name right. Take care. Have a good one. I ask louder than I mean it to. She gives me a cold look.
I meant sleep next to me, not with me. If you're such a pervert, maybe you should just sleep with her.
She turns away from me. I wave my arms frantically. No, wait. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to upset you. Fumo looks back at me.
Well, as long as you understand.
She picks herself up, moves over to the bed, lying
This
down.
way, I can protect you if she comes for you in the night.
I nod tentatively. Pulling out a spare blanket, I make my way over to the bed. I slowly lower myself to the bed, moving far to the edge as I can away from Fumo while she's still in the bed. She looks over to me and responds in a deadpan voice.
Don't worry. I'll protect you.
Thanks. I say, not quite sounding 100% sure. In a way, it's kind of funny seeing the petite woman promising to protect a bigger guy like me. I turn to look at the corner of the room and see that Ina is totally sitting in the chair, her arms crossed under her chest. I could see from the angle I'm at, but I'm sure Fumo was flashing her an expression that pissing her off. As I turn off the light, I think to myself that despite the fact that I'm completely exhausted, I think I'm going to have a hard time sleeping tonight. I ironically think this as my eyelids start to get heavy.
Gaikokujin no Sensei.
Yeah.
Wow, you look really tired. Are you okay?
Yep, she's right. Despite having gotten a few hours of sleep, they weren't very restful. Right, just gonna get myself into a comfy position while playing more of this game. Yes, go follow Sky and Kurama. Should do it. Gee, I wonder why. To Fumo's credit, though, I didn't get attacked at all last night by Ina, That didn't stop my brain from thinking she was about to. Speaking of which, they're both right here. However, at the very least, it turns out that I was right, and nobody else around could see them. Thank heaven for small miracles. That's the idea is for my coworkers to see me walking around with two spirits who look like they popped out of a cartoon. Yeah, I'm fine. I just didn't get a very good sleep last night.
Oh my gosh. I am so sorry to hear that. Did you at least find your way to town hall yesterday?
I think for a moment, should I tell her the truth? Here we go. I'm gonna go ahead and save right here on page 5. This choice 2. I'm gonna tell you the truth for this one. Actually, I ended up in the middle of the woods last night. Fibet almost immediately as her face goes pale.
What?
She asked so loudly that some of the other teachers noticed and turned to her. Turning beet red, she apologized before turning back to me.
But I was sure that was the right bus.
I put my hands out. It's fine. It's fine. I'm sure I just messed up.
No, this happens a lot. I'm sure it was me. Hang on a second.
She moves to another teacher and starts speaking to her in rapid Japanese. After a few seconds, she stops speaking as she drops her head. As if a prisoner on death row, she turns back and slowly moves towards me. Tears in the corner of her eyes.
I'm so sorry.
Says with the way more emotion than necessary.
On Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, it is the right bus.
She then begins to push her two pointer fingers together.
But on Tuesdays and Thursdays, it's not?
I raise my eyebrow. Ah, well, that makes sense. I could be justifiably angry, but she only was trying to help me. All I let out is an, oh. There's a short pause. Well, that's all right. She throws her hands downwards.
No, it isn't. You must have been lost and scared.
No, really, Makiko, it's fine. She's adorable.
No, no, no. I won't accept that.
Wait.
No, no, no. I won't accept that. Oh.
She looks up at me with bright eyes.
I'll make you lunch as an apology.
Oh.
I may not look like it, but I'm a pretty good cook.
She puts her hands on her hips with pride.
Oh, sounds like someone likes you.
Of course, I can't respond to her stupid comment, as it would appear talking to thin air. Aina, on the other hand, looks like she's about to throw down, even though she doesn't understand the words. She thinks she's understanding the body language. Thankfully, she seems to be keeping her the anger in check, though. It's okay, Makiko, you really don't have to. She claps her hands together joyfully.
I'm so glad you're excited for it. I'll do my best.
She didn't hear a word I said, did she? Well, I should probably get back to preparing for class. It's my first one after all. She says I just threw my papers on my desk.
Oh, right. I'll leave you alone now. Good luck.
Oh my god, Geeky, thank you for the tier 1 for 16 months. Damn. 16 months. Hell yeah. You got that, Oh, you're close to the 1.5 badge. Nice. Gotta love those dab emotes. Thank you very much, Geeky. Appreciate you. Begins to back away before almost falling over a trash can. After she leaves, I go back to my seat.
You know she likes you, right?
Momo asks me point blank. I sigh with irritation. I literally just met her yesterday, I whisper to her. She's just ridiculously friendly with everyone.
If you say so.
I turn back to my paperwork. I have to say, I'm surprised that you're not shocked about all the new technology and everything. You seem to be like, oh ye gods, what is this magic box with pictures? I say this dramatically, yet trying to keep my voice down.
Well, to say I'm not shocked would be untrue, but I'm not going to freak out because of this computer.
Computer. Sometimes I feel like they're like that. They are. Sometimes I feel like they are computers. Computers. Ha. She says while pointing at the laptop. I snicker as I hear her pronunciation. Fuma blushes slightly as she turns her head away from me.
You know exactly what I mean.
She says in her normal deadpan tone. A moment of silence passes before then. She moves her eyes back to me and smirks.
Besides, it's better than your Japanese.
A metaphorical knife shoots through my heart. Ugh, okay, you got me there. Before her slaughter can continue, the English teacher arrives to tell me that it's time for my first class. I nod to him. Gathering all my materials, I head towards class. Immediately, both Ida and Fuma stop what they're doing and follow me. As I reach the classroom, which I see to be second year, I take a deep breath. Okay, seriously, bro? Here we go. As I step into the room, I noticed every set of eyes on me. Several students merely stare at me while others begin to whisper to each other. The teacher begins to speak in a long string of Japanese to the students. I do my best to pretend to understand.
He says this is English, Sensei. Please be kind to him and listen to him as if he were me.
I really wish Fumo had warned me before whispering something into my ear. As it is, I'm already jumpy, but having her whisper into my ear nearly caused me to jump in shock. Thank God I'm able to control myself, or that would be really awkward. Still, having her translate is definitely going to help. And so, I go into my introduction, I tell them where I'm from, my hobbies, everything like that. When I finish my introduction, a few students ask me questions like, how old am I I married, the usual. All while Ina is busy sitting in the desk directly next to me. I'm so glad she can make herself invisible, because I'm absolutely sure I'd be shipped to the next plane back to America if they saw a seductive-looking woman in a kimono sitting on the desk. Luckily, as this is just an intro class, there's no real lesson I have to do today, so at least that helps my nerves. After I finish this, excuse me. After I finish, the students give me a light applause, and I'm able to go to the back of the room and listen to the normal teacher finish his lesson. The two women follow me to the back.
That wasn't terrible.
I snicker at the lack of grace. I write, "Why, thank you," on my notebook and show it to her. The three of us spend the rest of the class in silence as the teacher finishes the class. Upon stepping out of the class, I begin to head back towards the teacher's room. Ina latches onto my arm and begins to speak.
すごかったですよ。何言ってたかわからないけど、すっごくイケメンだったわ。
I turn my gaze over towards Fumo. Fumo rolls her eyes.
She says you were great. She doesn't know what you said, but you were very handsome.
Ugh. It's gonna be hard to. It's gonna be hard. It's hard to be a dick to her when she's being nice. I know I'm going to regret this later, but tilt my head towards Ina. Arigato. Immediately regret this as she squeezes my arm tighter.
You're only going to encourage her.
Ugh. Just what I didn't need. Luckily for me, the rest of the classes that day are exactly the same. Introduction, and then I sit in my back of the class. I do this another 3 times until finally the last intro of the day wraps up. I switch out at my desk. Finally the day's over.
Oh, do we finally get to leave?
Look at the clock. I look at the clock. Yeah, it's about that time. Gathering my things, I begin to head towards the door. As I make it to the door, I suddenly stop. Oh, right, I'm supposed to say something. I stop and turn around as I bow. Osaka ni shiteze shimasu. I say in my best attempt in Japanese. I reply of unenthusiastic "Wakarima desu ka" comes up in response. As I step in the hallway, I hear Fumo's voice.
Are we going straight home?
After changing back into my outside shoes, I step outside and look at the sky. Well, slight out. Honestly, I really don't feel like cooking. I think I'll eat out. Question is, where though? As I meander through the streets, I look around at different restaurant options laid out before me. Surprisingly, there seems to be more of a selection than I thought there would be. Probably because it's so close to the school. And the students are probably big clientele. Eventually, a building catches my eye. I see the sign in front of the words Cottontail Cafe in English, out inside a rabbit-looking head. It looks pretty upscale, but at the same time, what kind of cute charm? Uh-oh. Uh-oh, folks. I think I know where this is going to lead to. I shrug and gesture towards the building. What the hell? Let's try there. Let's have a short, snorted laugh.
The place with the rabbit on it?
I figure since I'm here, I should try some new things.
Whatever you say, boss.
Oh god, please don't call me boss.
Okay, human.
Please don't call me that either.
You're no fun.
This time, it's my turn to snort and laugh. Excuse me. It's been decided. I walk towards the front door. A little doorbell chimes as I open the door. And when I step inside, a voice can be heard. Konnichiwa. Imasechu shibake mate kudasai. Of course, I have no idea what she's saying. However, I look for a source of the voice. I don't have to search long, as around the corner, dressed in a cute dress ensemble with rabbit ears, a tail cost someone I recognize in an instant. The fact that a certain rabbit was sticking over her shoulder didn't hide her identity either. Kotone? Still not looking directly at me, she's smiling.
Yeah. ことねじゃない。チューネです。一緒に来て。
And that's when her eyes meet mine. As they do, she freezes solid, her face caught in a state of shock. It's obvious she recognizes me, but it's almost as if she has to ask just to make sure it's real. I do my best to make this less awkward than it already is. Okay, have a good rest, Sadako. Hi, Kotone. So this is where you work. Her face goes bright red as she continues to be frozen. Kotone, you okay? As if me asking this question shook her out of her stupor, she allowed a toothed smirk to cross her face.
Well, if it isn't Mr. American, I certainly didn't expect to see you again.
She says, her air of superiority immediately returning as if she received a second wind.
But...
She raises a finger in the air and waves back and forth.
You've made one huge error.
Before I can ask what she means by that, she continues.
I don't work here.
She says as she spreads her arms wide open upwards.
I own this place.
I open my eyes wide in surprise. Wow, that's really impressive. She places her hands on her hips as she closes her eyes and nods.
Right.
She looks back at me.
It's actually the most popular rabbit cafe outside of Tokyo.
She says this was more than a little pride. Kotane's great. Man, I wish I owned my own business. She waves her hand back and forth.
Well, we can't all be as amazing as I am. It's only natural.
Oh my god. Wow, she's super full of herself mode today. So, is it possible to get a seat? She smirks at me.
Normally there's a wait list. However, a private party had to cancel, so you're in luck today.
Suppose I am. I say checkingly slightly. Also, hi, Iso. I say as I wave to the rabbit on her shoulder. Hearing its name, the rabbit nods to me and smiles and lets at it. Aww. Let's hear that again. Kotane, on the other hand, looks surprised.
How do you know her name?
I heard you say it back at the cafe. Did I get that wrong?
No, I'm just shocked you remembered it.
Well, how could I forget such a cute bunny? Kotane blushes slightly as she coughs into her hand.
Anyway, let's get you to a table.
Seeing her like this, I can't help but tease. May not have understood what you said, but I definitely heard some chews in there. Don't I get the customer treatment? Kotone looks back at me, exhales. She then whips back around, and her personality changes instantly.
I'm so sorry, Chew. Come with me and we'll hop right to your seat, Chew.
Oh my god, I love it. I do my best to suppress a snicker.
Please have a look at the menu. Once you have ordered, you can pick up and play with any of the rabbits you wish. Just be gentle, Chew.
She nearly literally hops off, handing me a menu. That looks so embarrassing, I can't even. I mean, for me, for her, I don't know. It's kind of cute.
Wow, that's embarrassing.
My thought is cut off by Fumo. Well, yeah, but I guess that's a popular thing now. I say as I take a look at the menu. Of course, it's in Japanese, but thankfully there's pictures. Do you want anything? I asked as I turned towards Fumo.
Wouldn't it look really weird if you had 3 plates in front of you?
Well, you wouldn't eat it here. I'd get them to go. She looks at the menu.
So, you look at this piece of paper and you pick something on it you want?
Yeah, basically. She looks over off the menu for a moment.
Okay, I guess I'll take this.
She says, pointing at something.
Should I ask Aina as well?
I shrug. Yeah, probably should. She passes the menu over to Aina and says something in Japanese. Her eyes begin to sparkle as she looks between the menu and me. Irritated, my eyes begin to twitch. And make sure you explain it's not a date. Fumo, with an air of satisfaction, explains to Aina, who looks a little deflated. After a few moments, however, she picks something. I seem to be perfect timing as the menu comes back to my hand just as Kotone walks
Hi
back.
there. Have you decided, Chew?
She asks, the voice still placed on. I look from the menu to her. Well, I don't know. What do you recommend? She puts her hands on her hips.
Well, for an indecisive man like yourself, I recommend the Usugio Special.
And what is that? I asked, intrigued. Kotone gives me a toothy grin.
Oh, that's right. Mr. Hops can't read Japanese.
Man, for me being a customer, she sure does love rubbing it in.
It's an omelet filled with greens and onions.
I nod. Oh, yeah, I'll have that. I'll take this and this to go. As I point them, Aina and Fumo pointed out. As I finish saying this, suddenly the pen falters in Kotone's hand for a moment. She quickly recovers, though, with a nervous laugh.
Oh, is that for your kids or something?
I laugh in response. No, nothing like that. I just hate cooking. I thought I'd stack up for tomorrow. Hearing this, Kotone seems to loosen up slightly.
Ah, I see.
If I didn't know any better, I could swear that it sounded like relief.
Well, you can't have too much of our cooking.
And the confidence is back.
I'll be right back with your food, Chew. In the meantime, please get acquainted with our bunnies.
Go over to Fumo. Well, shall we?
No, I'm fine. Animals and I, we don't normally get along.
Oh. Well, that kind of makes sense. Still, I scratch my chin. Actually, I have a theory. Come with me for a second. She looks up at me in confusion. Standing up, I take a few feet over towards the rabbit pen. I step inside, I gesture for her to follow. Fumo lets out a sigh and reluctantly comes to the pen with me. At first, a few of the bunnies come over to me and start to sniff my fingers, but once Fumo steps in, they all seem to ignore me and head over to her. Aww.
What's going on?
Aww. I chuckled gently. I thought so.
Why are they coming over to me?
Sure enough, soon as she is surrounded by all the rabbits, they are currently in this pen. I had heard that animals can see spirits a lot easier than people can. Turns out I was right. Seeing me laugh, she looks at me confused but slightly irritated.
What did you do?
I laugh again. I didn't do anything. They're just fixed.
Fixed?
People make their pets infertile so they don't overpopulate. I had a feeling it was this way with rabbits, too. A slight blush crosses Fumo's face.
People make their pets?
She whispers this into herself as she reaches her hand tentatively out. The rabbit eagerly puts its head on her hand, and nuzzles against it. Aw. A small smile creeps up from the side of her face. Having fun? Still petting the rabbit, she smiles gently.
It's not bad.
Aww. I turn around to glance Aina. I have to stifle a laugh as it seems that every single rabbit completely ignoring her. She tries to pick one up and it jumps away from her. I know that it's childish, but after the crap she's been putting me through, I can't say it doesn't feel good. Despite Fumo seeming to have a rabbit fan club, I managed to find a rabbit who seemed interested in me and allowed me to hold on to pet it. As I pet it, my mind begins to wonder.
Hey!
Huh? What? Shake myself out of the thought. Turn back to Kotone. Oh, sorry. What's going on? He's looking at me with a look of concern.
Just wanted to tell you that your food's ready. You okay?
Huh? Oh, yeah, I'm fine. Kotone shrugs.
If you say so.
At that moment, the door chimes. She pulled away as she heads towards them with a large smile.
You okay?
She looks at me with the same concern of her own. Yeah, I'm fine. Place the rabbit down and move back towards my seat. It is immediately late as I see omelet she has placed on my table. Practically stuffed with greens, and my name is written on it in English, in ketchup, along with a picture of a bunny face. It looks so good, I almost don't want to eat it. I decided to take a picture of it for posterity. I pull up my phone and take a picture. At least my American phone is still good for something. I really need to pick up a Japanese phone. There's a set in front of me as a pair of chopsticks. I nearly cringe, but I am immediately relieved when I see a fork as well. No further ado, I start eating the omelet. Oh, this is really good. As I'm eating, Fumo looks at me confused. I stop eating mid-chew. What?
You didn't say anything before eating.
What, like grace?
What's grace?
You know, like a prayer. Thank you for the food or something like that.
Right. Except in Japan, we say itadakimasu.
Oh, well, we don't really do that in America. I mean, we say prayer sometimes for a holiday meal, but that's not usually.
I see.
She says, putting her hand on her chin. Turning away from her, I go back to my food.
You're just Mr. Popular, aren't you?
Put down my fork for a moment. What do you mean by that? With her head rested on her hand, she holds over to Kotone.
You've known her for a while?
I shake my head. No, I met her the first day I came here. I haven't seen her since. Chin still in hand, she glances over at me.
Met?
I shoot her over to an annoyed look. Yes, randomly in a cafe, we talked, she left. I didn't even know she worked here.
Ah, I see.
As I'm finishing up, I could tell that Aina is getting very irritated, and it's pretty obvious why. Despite being smack dab in Japan, she's sitting around listening to a myriad of people speak to me in a language which she has no idea of what they're saying. So what's the deal with Aina? I asked, gesturing over to her.
Deal?
You know, you speak English. She doesn't. Fumo casts a glare at Aina and back at me, putting on a smirk.
She thought it wasn't necessary. She believed that since she was a Japanese spirit, there was no need to learn any other language.
And you thought different.
Last time I was here, albeit for a short time, I noticed in the House of the Chosen Male a book. It seemed to be written in a strange language I had never seen before. It intrigued me. So, shortly thereafter, when I returned to the spirit world, I started to do some research on this language. I found out it was called English. I had nothing better to do, and I figured it would be interesting to learn.
Fumo shrugs.
It was something to do for about 3 years.
Well, your English is absolutely perfect. Fumo looks sideways and blushes
You
slightly.
don't have to flatter me.
I'm not flattering you. I'm just telling you the truth. I look out over the room, listening to the other patrons speaking in straight Japanese. I came here thinking that I could glide by with just English, but I never realized just how lonely it can get here. If it weren't for Makiko and now you, I probably would have gone nuts for what it's worth. Thanks. She glances sideways one more time before looking back and sighing.
Idiot.
She says quietly, and then she says so quietly that I can barely hear it. It's at this point that Kotone comes back.
Well, how was it? Amazing, right?
She asks, practically beaming with pride. Yeah, it was actually really good.
Well, I could have done without the actually. But I have to say, you may have better taste than I originally thought. I know you'd like dessert, too. So, I'll bring you the dessert special as well.
Before I can even respond, she heads off to get my dessert. Well, I guess we're staying for dessert. Turn to Fumo. I'm gonna go wash my hands. The bathroom's pretty close. You two should be fine. I'll be right back.
Okay, sure.
I get up and walk towards the bathroom.
Hey, where is he going?
Oh, Ina's in her
He's
thoughts.
just going to wash his hands. He'll be right back.
Who is that girl? She looks too familiar to be a server.
He says they only met once before when he first arrived in Japan.
It looks a lot more friendly than that.
Jealous?
There's nothing to be jealous about. He's obviously just shy. He'll come around. They all do.
If you say so.
Either way, I don't like her attempts. The teacher I can understand. They work together. But this girl...
Do whatever you think is best.
I make my way back to the girls. I didn't even know how I got ketchup all over my hands. Look between the two of them as I ride back to the table. Everything okay?
Yeah, we're fine.
Alright then, fair enough. Begin to make my... To make my back to my seat. To make my back to my seat. To make my back to my seat. I hear Kotane's voice.
Ah, there you are, Chu. I have your dessert right here.
She says in a fake, cheerful voice.
Woo!
Certainly, Kotane lets out a sharp yelp. I whip my head back around just in time to see Kotane a few inches from me. She's going down hard. I barely have a second to react. I instinctively pull at my hand, shutting my eyes tight. A second later, the collision comes, and both of us go down in a heap. I see stars as my head hits the floor. Ugh. Suddenly, a muffled voice comes from my chest. I open my eyes, and there buried in my chest is Kotane. I immediately let go. Oh, sorry, are you okay? A very beet red Kotane moves her head up to look at me.
What are you doing? Did I say you could touch me?
Sorry, I was just... Immediately, she stands up and dusts herself off.
Yeah, you were being all Mr. Knight in shining armor. I get it. I didn't ask for that, you know.
A bit shocked, I slowly start to get up. Huh? Picking up Uso, who had just landed comfortably on the table, she turns to me.
Huh, what?
Well, I thought you were going to be like, ah, you pervert, and like throw something at me or something. Crossed her arms.
For what? For catching me? I may not have asked you to catch me, but what kind of bitch would get upset at you for that? Unless you think I'm that kind of ungrateful?
She asks as she places her hands on her hips in a huff. Seeing where this is going, I wave my hands frantically. No, I wouldn't think that at all. Quick, seriously, bro, think of something. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and save again. 6. Call this one Choice 3. Alright. Chat, what do you think we should pick? Let's see. Cool? You think cool, Halsey? I was thinking that one too. Though I'm trying to be careful not to get too many points in some girls. Because I know the girl I want to go to for the first one. Because there is an ending where you end up with nobody if you get too many points in too many girls. So maybe I'll think about that. Way too adult for that. You're way too cute for that. I think she'd like cute. Maybe, you know what? I'll try cool. You're way too cool for that. I mean, you handle it all like a champion. Picked yourself up and kept going. That's really admirable. Kotane blushes slightly, but tries to cover it.
Well, of course I'm cool. Most people realize that immediately after meeting me.
He visibly swells with pride. Swells.
But
Being new around here, I'll forgive you for realizing it a little late. Tell you what, as a thank you and introductory discount, I'll knock off 10% for you.
Oh, wow, really? Thanks. You're...
The best. I know.
She waves the thought away. There's a short silence before our thought brings her back to her senses.
Oh, the dessert! It must be...
She looks around the floor, finding surely destroyed dessert, only a moment to find it sitting perfectly on the table.
That's strange. How did...
I turn towards Fumo, who her head still rested on her hand, gives me a wink. I shrug. Guess we got lucky.
Seems so. Well, I'll let you eat your dessert. After all, it ranked #1 as our customer's favorite.
She says with a small amount of pride. Oh, thanks. At that, Kotane nods and walks away to take care of other customers. I pick up my fork and give a sidelong glance at Fumo. Itadakimasu? I say, completely unsure of myself. She lets out a short snort.
Close. But you get some points for effort.
Grumbling, I take a bite. I have to say, Kotane wasn't lying. It really is good. After eating about half, I take the rest and put it in one of the to-go containers I had for the other dishes. In a few minutes, Kotane returns.
Oh, that was fast. You must have really liked it. But of course you would.
I have to admit, when you're right, you're right. It was really good. She tears off a piece of paper and hands it to me.
Mm-hmm. Well, here's your bill, with the discount I promised.
Look at the bill. It actually wasn't too expensive, considering I got to hang out with some rabbits and got 3 meals out of it. Reach in my locket, pull out a 10,000 yen bill, $100. Here you go. Keep the change. Taking the bill, Kotane starts to chuckle, followed by a loud laugh.
Oh my god, you are such an American. This is Japan. We don't tip here.
That is actually true. Don't tip in Japan. It's considered rude to tip in Japan. Wait, what? Seriously? Is this another one of those don't be so gullible moments? As completely confused, she sighs.
No. In Japan, it's considered rude to tip.
See? I was right. It is considered rude to tip. Sorry, guys. Just give me 1 second here. Sorry about that. Yeah, it is. It's just a cultural thing. How the hell is that? She was explaining to a slow child. She counts the change back to me.
Shouldn't we always give amazing service? Isn't that the job? So why should we get paid extra to do our job? Besides, with a tip, it's almost like you're grading how good we are. Isn't that a bit insulting?
Well, I guess, but the pay...
I pay my people just fine. In fact, I think I pay these kids too well.
She says as she looks over at the other girls and the outfits she's wearing. They, however, all seem to be in their teens. By saying these kids, it makes you sound like you're not even that young yourself. She blushes hearing this.
Well, of course, but you know what I mean.
She hands me back my change.
Well, thank you for coming.
Oh, I had a really good time. I'm glad I came.
Oh, well, good. And, you can come again if you want. If we're not too busy, that is.
She shifts her eyes to the side. Yeah, definitely. This seems to appease her as she gives me a small smile. Is there anything else I wanted to tell her? I'll just say thanks for the food. Really, though. Thank you for the food. It was the best I've had since coming here.
Hey, that's enough butt kissing. Besides, I don't need you to tell me the obvious.
I laugh slightly. Right. Picking up the excess bags, everything, and move to head out the door. Both Fumo and Aina follow me.
もう透明なんて嫌だ。この村で一緒に歩く姿をみんなに見せたいの。
Don't have to. I shall just take it all of their tips. They don't have to worry about it. That's fair. Jeez, Halsey. That's funny. Okay. All right. Well, Aina's not happy, as we can see. Immediately glanced to Fumo. Fumo sighs.
She says that she's tired of being invisible.
Wait, what? Wait, what? Well, I mean, there's not a whole lot we can do about that, right? Your spirits. Only I can see you, right?
No, I don't believe I ever said that.
Wait, so other people can see you if you want them to?
Yeah. Like I said, we're spirits, not ghosts.
But wouldn't people freak out with the whole ear and tail thing?
We can hide those if we want.
Seriously? Mo nods. Can you change clothes too?
That we can't do.
Right, so basically what you're saying is I'd have to buy you clothes.
I am not saying anything. Aina's the one who wants to be visible.
Well, she's going to bug me about it. There's no way I'd let you stay invisible. Sure.
I don't care either way.
I turn my head around as I look at the different shops. I mean, we're already out. We might as well see if there's any place to buy clothes.
You really don't have to go to the trouble.
I wave my hand up and down. It's fine, but look, even if I get you guys clothes, you have to stay invisible at school.
Right, obviously.
I narrow my eyes. That wasn't meant for you. Fumo's eyes open slightly wider.
Right.
She turns to Aina and says something in Japanese. She must have liked what she heard because she immediately jumps up to hug me from behind. There we go. All right. I can feel two things pressing deep into my back. I quickly shrug her off. Okay, that's enough of that. I have no idea what women like to wear, so I'll tell you what. Let's walk around and pick a place. We'll go there. Buy each one outfit. Just try not to make it too expensive. If you appear right before we go into the store, the shorter people to see you too and wear clothes, the better.
We could just pick out the clothes while invisible.
If you think I'm going to walk into a girl's clothing store and pick out outfits and underwear seemingly by myself, you're insane. Fumo blushes slightly.
Fine, whatever.
We walk for a few minutes before Aina notices the store and runs up to it with stars in her eyes.
かわいいですね、ふもちゃん。
ふもちゃんじゃないよ。
I assume she likes this place. I asked unsure of the back and forth they just had. Yeah. You okay with it? She takes a look through the window.
I think I can probably find something here.
Alright, good. But we can't have you two just appearing in thin air. I say to myself, look around. After a few moments, I find an alleyway. Okay, this should be good. I point towards the open alleyway. Drew translates to Ida, who heads to the alleyway. As they both enter, I check both directions. Nobody seems to be looking. Alright, you two are fine. Go ahead and reveal yourselves. One nods at the moment, and then Aina. The two close their eyes and then slowly begin to envelop by a light. Aina in white and Fumo by black. Almost as if it were black fire. They come back to focus and notice that despite the pomp-up circumstances, they look weirdly identical, except minus their animal ears and tail.
Okay, we're good now.
Huh, they look pretty much the same to me.
Well, obviously, you could already see us.
Oh, right. Alright, let's get you guys into the store. Heading back out of the alleyway, we walk across the street into the store. Suddenly, I hear a loud voice. Irashimase! The hell was that? Fumo snickers at me.
He's just greeting us.
Alright. Oh, right, I should start and say it back. Fumo actually giggles at this.
No, you shouldn't.
Well, excuse me for not knowing. Meanwhile, I can feel holes behind Bird at the back of my head. Immediately, I feel a tug at my arm.
ねえねえ、一緒に服を見たい。
what she said, but I'm assuming it's something Japanese. I didn't need Fumo to translate for me. Pretty sure I could get the gist on my own. I dragged her by the arm over towards the female section of the clothing store. I actually looked at the outfits like a kid in a candy store.
ねえ、これ可愛いと思う。
Before I even say anything, Fumo speaks
She's
up.
asking if you think it's cute.
Ah, thanks. She pulls out what looks to be a floral patterned spring dress and wordlessly shows it to me. Across my arms, I know when girls are asking your opinion, they're really not asking your opinion, but the hell with it. It's Aina. I shake my head sideways. I pull out my book and look for a phrase. Iai suki janai.
ああ、そうですか。
Puts the dress back and looks some more. Suddenly hear Fumo's voice behind me.
You don't like that sort of clothing?
Nah, but of course that's just my opinion.
I see.
I'm going to put something back on the rack behind me. By the time I turn around, she's already looking at something else. Way back, Ida, I see that she has already picked out a new outfit. So one has a giant hole in the chest to accentuate those with larger endowment. She smiles and raises it up to me. I quickly grab it and put it back on the rack. Absolutely not. Without having to understand what I said, she merely puffs out her cheeks and irritated and goes back to looking.
How about this?
Like Fumo, who seems to have found a nice combo of sweatshirt, leggings, and jean shorts. Looking it over, I give a nod. Yeah, it looks really good, actually. I grab the tag and look at the price. Not terrible. I can afford that. I feel a tap on my shoulder. I turn back to see Aina, who in hand has an outfit that looks like far more reserved. Actually, had it been anyone other than Aina, it would actually have been really cute. I nod. This seems to please her. She bounces in excitement, hugging the clothes tightly to her like they're a precious treasure. See, if Aina acted more like this and less like a sex-crazed hyena, she might be more bearable. It's funny. It's funny you say sex-crazed hyena. It's funny you say sex-crazed hyena. Because if that were the case, Aina wouldn't be the one getting pregnant. Should we look for some more? Fumo shakes her head.
No, one's fine for now. If we need more, we can go later. Besides, I don't want to take all your money.
Elsie. Oh, well, thank you. At the very least, you need to get underwear. Fumo blushes.
Well, that was said quite brazenly.
I'm not a teenager.
Says the man who didn't want to buy these by himself.
I could certainly try to have a battle of sass with Fumo, but something tells me I'd probably lose. Something tells me you probably would too, dude. Alright. Okay. Right. I say defeated. I lead the two of them over towards the back where the underwear is located. And before Diana asks, I tell her I'm not going to help her pick out her underwear. Fumo does so and gets excited. Gets exactly the huffy reaction I thought she'd get. However, since I apparently can't be more than a certain distance away from them, I head over towards a chair that's obviously there for a waiting party near the changing area. I sit in the chair and attempt to relax. It's only a few moments before I hear a voice. That voice starts. I'm sailing, I look up. What is it? I open my eyes. Aina's holding in a larger bra to me.
これは何ですか?
I jerk backwards. Jesus! No voice. Fumo looks over to
She
me.
wants to know what that is.
I look over to gesturing towards the bra. I tell her. Deep breath. Tell her that's what we use nowadays for, the top. It holds up the chest. Blush crosses Fumo's face as she gives the translation to Aina. Aina smiles widely and devilishly.
本当ですか? 面白いですね.
Aina grabs a few different, very racy-looking ones and heads to the changing room. Fumo, on the other hand, proceeds to stand next to me, not taking any. You can get a couple. I'm not that poor. Fumo blushes a deep crimson, and she doesn't even look me in the
I'm
eye.
fine. I don't really need any.
I think for a moment until I realize what she's implying. Fumo, there's no way you're not getting at least one. Let's set aside.
Fine, I'll get one.
You have some booba, Fumo. Come on. Turn around and look to the other side of the store. I hear some rustling before eventually I hear Lost door of the changing area move aside. I sink down into my chair. What in the hell is my life right now? I whisper to no one in particular. Slowly, I allow myself to close my eyes and wait for the first time in a while, simply relax.
Hey.
No, that didn't last long. Yeah, for a moment, what is it?
I need your help.
What's the matter? Open my eyes.
I need help getting this on.
Of course she does. I look both ways to make sure that no one in the store employees are looking this direction. Satisfied they're not, I move to the changing room. Alright, Fumo, I'm coming in. Particularly see Fumo's back to me. Shocked to see her standing in front of me, holding even just the end of the bra. She faces me. Ah! I cover it with my mouth. You didn't tell me it snapped in the front. Fumo is burning red as she turns her head.
I didn't know it did.
Well, she whispered loudly. You seriously want me to hook that?
Yes, do it. It's not like there's...
Oh my... Oh, shut up. Say cutting her off as I realize that I'm now blushing too. I fumble with the hook for a few seconds, feeling my hands getting shakier with my face flushing. Thankfully, I'm eventually able to succeed.
Oh, thank...
Before I can hear a compliment, though, I immediately hop out of the dressing room. Fortunately, my foot catches the edge of the chair I was sitting earlier. Of course, I go tumbling. I groggily awaken for a few minutes later. Seriously, I'm really going to need a chiropractor.
Honey, 大丈夫?
As I slowly open my eyes, I see inches from my face Aina, clad only in a pair of racy underwear. I close my eyes again. Nope, that's it. I'm done. I'm just gonna lie here for a while. Yep, just gonna lie here for a while. Maybe I'll wake up back in America.
Gaikokujin no Sensei.
Oh, that was great. What?
Gaikokujin no Sensei.
Let's try that again. What the fuck?
Gaikokujin no Sensei.
Well, that's broken. Another day of class is done. I had no idea how exhausting... I know, that's what I think it is too, Halsey. I had no idea how exhausting teaching English could be. Having to keep at that level of energy so often is exhausting.
Good work today.
I collapsed in my chair. Thanks, Fumo. It's already been a few weeks since I started my first class, but I don't know if I'll ever really get used to it. I glance up at the clock in hopes that my classes for the morning are over. The gods seem to be kind to me as when I look up and see that it's indeed lunchtime. Excuse me. And today is the day that Makia promised to make me a lunch. I tried to get out of it several times, pushing it off over and over. But eventually she wore me down, and well, here I am. My way towards the gym with a little bit of fear, wondering what sort of food is possibly awaiting me. In the gym, I agree with the sight of Makio speaking to a student. Seeing me, Makio looks over to the girl's head and gives me a congenial wave. The girl, confused by this time, turns my way as well. Immediately recognize her. Oh, hi there, I say as I walk up in front of the two of them. She gives me a smile and a bow.
Hello, Sensei.
Yep, I turned out the girl who helped me the first day at the hotel would be one of my students. Small world. I was immediately able to pick her from the first day I had class with her. It didn't hurt that she had been wearing the school uniform the day she helped me as well. I give her a slight head nod back.
Oh, that's some good memory there.
Why, thank you, I say with a mock sense of pride. I look from Ai to Makiko. She's in sports club or something? Makiko smiles.
Well, yes, actually. Ai is our volleyball team star.
Ai blushes a deep crimson.
Sensei, やめて。恥ずかしいよ。
Makio's smile widens.
Hi. Jane Ai.
Alright, I'm gonna drink some water. Okay. Ai, showing a bit of irritation, bows to Makio and me and takes her leave. She seemed like a good kid.
She is. Her English is very advanced for her age, too.
I could tell.
But enough about that. I'm sure you're here for Makiko's super apology lunch. Am I right?
Is there an option B? I asked, placing my hands in my pocket, smirking. She pulls her hands in her hips and smirks.
Absolutely 100% not.
Fine. So where are we going? He points upwards dramatically.
To the roof, of course.
Oh, of course. I answer
I
confused.
just have to grab it first. Come with me to my office.
Follow Makio to the back of the gym where the coaches area is located. The room appears to be much neater than I would have expected from someone who's seemingly scatterbrained as Makiko.
I'll be right back. Just give me 1 second.
As she steps away, I begin to look around. For a few moments, my eyes direct themselves to the closet door. I see what appears to be a pink puff sticking out of the frame. I tilt my head a bit, but I can't seem to get a good look at it. Taking a few steps closer, I reach out and touch it. It feels soft. What the hell is this?
That's a good question.
Well, as she seemingly pops up from nowhere. Ugh, Jesus, don't do that.
Do what?
You know, freak me out like that.
It's not like we haven't been here.
I know, but you've been so quiet, I forgot for a second.
Ah, I see. So wrapped up in your date with Makiko that you forgot about us.
She smirks.
I'm sure Aina will be crushed.
I rub my temple. It's not a date, Fumo. She wanted to make me lunch because she felt bad about getting me lost in the woods. You know, the whole reason I'm stuck with Aina over there.
So what? I don't count then?
Well, you're not as much of a pain to be around. Fumo raises her eyebrow.
Thanks, I think.
She then turns her attention to the door.
So, you gonna open it?
I turn back towards the pink fluff sticking out of the door, nearly having forgotten it. Oh, right. So, am I really that curious? You know what? Let's do another save. Call this choice 4. And I already know what I'm going to do. I have to know. I don't want to seem like I'm invading her privacy, but I'm so curious. I first look both ways to make sure she's not watching me. Once I'm relatively sure I have a few seconds, I move back towards the door and give it a little yank. Immediately regret my decision. I've barely given the door a tiny yank, and it immediately shoots open as a cascade of items begin to fall all over me. Ah, shoot, no, stay in there. Wah! I proclaim in a loud whisper as pink and yellow items continue to come crashing down on me. Eventually, the barrage of items begins to slow. Holding out my hands, I feebly manage to catch a single item. Glancing down, I am greeted with what appears to be a stuffed, cute-looking sheep plush. Oh my god. Oh my god. She loves plushies. She's that girl. Of course, this is when Makio comes back into the room.
All right. I hope you're...
She stops as she glances at me and the floor and then the item in my hands. A short silence and falls, which I awkwardly break. Cute sheep. Yep, good job. Seriously, bro. A+. If she were a thermometer, Makio's face from the bottom up begins turning bright red as mortified the expression covers her face. I'm sorry, I'll put it back. It was sticking out and still utterly red. Makio walks over to me and takes the sheet from my hands. I see it on the desk. She turns back to me, back around, and gently pushes me with her hands towards the door.
Wait outside.
She says with no lack of seriousness. Okay. As she finishes, Guiding me out of the room, she closes the door behind me.
Oh, good job.
You know there's an English saying, curiosity killed the cat? Fumio points her finger to her chin.
We have a similar one. We say, 好奇心は身を誤る. It really means curiosity is wrong.
I feel like I'm being called out here. Me specifically, not the character in the game. Me. Hearing some Japanese, Aina hops over.
いえいえ、好奇心が重要です。
Fumo rubs her head and turns back to me.
She says that curiosity is important.
Is it now? Curiosity is important, eh? Okay. I cross my arms. Pretty sure she's just saying that because I embarrassed myself in front of Makiko.
Yeah, she's pretty transparent.
It feels like an eternity. I hear the door behind me open. Hey, Makiko, sorry about that. But she puts up her hands, cutting me off.
Hey, it's no problem, but I would love if we could,
She looks to the side.
not talk about it?
Put my hands up. You know what? That's absolutely fair. This seems to cause her to perk up.
Great. Okay then, let's go up to the roof.
As she turns to lead me to the roof, I let her sigh. Excuse me. She seems back to normal. Thank God. I really didn't need her pissed at me. And with that, we head up to the roof to eat lunch. Guess I've never been on a school roof before. Makiko looks at me in shock.
Seriously? Well, I mean, I suppose that makes sense.
Does it? It does make sense? Okay. Yeah, we don't really go to our school roofs in America.
Oh well, now you get to try it. Speaking of trying it, ta-da!
She says as she undoes the cloth surrounding the rectangular box. Oh wow, that's a cool box. Makiko snickers.
Let me open the box first.
Ah, okay. I thought the box was like part of the presentation.
Not this time.
She reaches over and removes the top of the box. She removes the top. It reveals a myriad of different types of food, all of which I have no hope of identifying. Wow, this looks really good. What is it? She looks at me with a bemused smile.
What exactly have you been eating for the past few weeks?
Stuff from convenience stores. She pauses for a moment.
Seriously?
I shrug.
There's no way you're getting the necessary nutrients for that. I'm seriously going to have to make you a list of things to buy.
No, it's fine. You don't have to.
Nope. Too late. I'm doing it. In the meantime, though, take in.
Seeing the excitement in her voice, I can't exactly say no. Okay, fine. I take the chopsticks she hands to me. Look at the different options in the box. Well, here goes nothing. I fumble with the chopsticks and attempt to grab something. I almost succeed when I can hear an all too familiar noise. The school bell rings, signifying the end of lunch.
Oh my gosh! Is it that time already?
She proceeds to immediately grab the untouched lunch and wrap everything up quickly.
I'm sorry, lunch is over. I have to go!
Before I can even get a word out, she's at the door, leaving me holding an empty pair of chopsticks in my hand. I pause for a moment as I stare at the empty doorway. The hell just happened? Go to my school roof once, but it was like an alarm. Like an alarm on the end.
Honestly, I have no idea.
I did it again. It did it again. Oh, that's funny. God. And with that, the day is done. Once again, I flop in my chair. How do you do this every day? I ask myself, exhaling, as I look upwards towards the ceiling.
It's not easy, that's for sure.
Suddenly, a voice causes me to sit up with a jolt. Wah! My head around to see Makiko standing above me. I hold my chest to my heart, as my heart is still racing.
Sorry.
See my jurist, she announces this. She announces this incredibly apologetically.
I thought you saw me.
I was looking at the ceiling.
Sorry.
As my heart rate decreases, I wave my hand up and down. It's fine, it's fine. What's up, Makiko?
Oh, right. I was just saying that you sound like you need to relax. You should absolutely take a night off and go to a hot spring.
Look at her surreptitiously. Hot spring? She gasps.
Don't tell me you've never been to a hot spring before.
I think that is what he is saying, Makiko. I think that's what he is saying. Okay, I won't tell you. The silence first she finally steps forward and clenched in excitement.
Absolutely have to go.
Okay, so what is a hot spring?
You'll love it. It's basically a giant bathhouse where you relax.
Ooh. And it's public?
Of course.
And you go in different baths?
No, you share.
So I'm sharing a bath with other people. That's weird.
What? No, it isn't.
Oh, an onsen. I haven't been to one of those in the mortal world. Sounds interesting.
Onsen?
Seemingly latching onto the word pops up beside Fumo.
She's asking if we can go.
Grabs onto my arm and squeezes herself against it. Okay, fine. I'll check it out. I say this out loud more to Aina than anything. However, as she's invisible, Makio just smiles.
Awesome! You'll love it. Here, let me write down the directions. It's actually in walking distance from the school.
Oh, that's super convenient. With that, Makio quickly jots down something on a piece of paper and hands it to me.
No need to thank me. Have a good time.
Before I can even begin to say something in response, she turns around and heads out of the room.
That was certainly a one-sided conversation, wasn't it?
It certainly was. You can say that again.
Why would I want to say it again?
Never mind. Meanwhile, Aina's still holding onto my arm.
温泉に行こうかな
I make the mistake of turning to look at Aina, who now has stars in her eyes. The eyes look so big and innocent, it's hard to ignore. I do, however, manage to tear myself away from them. I sigh. Fumo, do you want to go? It gives me a non-committal shrug.
If you wanted to go, I wouldn't object.
I was hoping she'd say no. Well, it looks like I'm all out of options. I look between the two of them and making sure no one else is watching before finally whispering. Okay, fine, we'll go. Turn to Aina. Hey, ikimasu. Does have really big eyes. She does have really big eyes. But I think that's on purpose because she's, the spirit of fertility. So, features like that. Well, I might as well have told her that we won the lottery because at that moment, Aina's grasp of my arm moved to my neck as she proceeded to tackle me, nearly knocking me off my chair. Between labored breaths, I managed to think to myself, oh boy, this is going to be a long, long night.
Gaikokujin no Sensei.
Now, when I heard they wanted to go to the hot spring, I didn't think they meant that night. But apparently, once I got the idea in their head, Aina couldn't think of anything but that. And on top of that, they wanted to try the whole being seen thing. Since we're so close to the school, there's a chance that someone I work with would be here. I turn to the two women with me. Remember the cover story, Fumo, and make sure you remind Aina if anyone I know from work sees you. Fumo interrupts you.
I know. We're childhood friends whose parents moved away a long time ago. We just reconnected recently, right?
They look so cute in their outfits, by the way. Adorable. Yeah, right.
And I already reminded Aina.
Okay, good. Just one more thing. You two have to hide your ears and tail. Waves her hands up and down dismissively.
Right.
Would you mind Aina, please? Fumo sighs and turns Aina, repeating to her in Japanese. Aina nods happily. I take a look around. There doesn't seem to be anyone walking by at the moment. Okay, go ahead. Closing their eyes, white black light encompasses the pair. There, their ears and tail are both gone.
Better?
Yes, thank you.
I still don't see why you couldn't tell these people the truth.
A lot has changed since you were here last time. People don't really believe as much in spirits and things of that nature.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's more technology nowadays. Spirits are seen more as either fictional or fringe thing only a few people believe in.
I see.
She says, putting her fingers in her chin. As we turn the corner, I see the hot spring. Well, whoop-dee-doo. Makiko's directions didn't get me lost this time. As I walk towards the entrance of the hot spring, I hear an excited voice behind me.
Onsen, onsen.
Suddenly, I'm bumped into from behind.
Gomen.
Managed to keep my balance. Oh, it's okay. Eh?
Ego?
I turn around as I'm greeted with a familiar face.
What are you doing here?
I raise my eyebrow, a bit confused. You were the one who told me about this place. She taps herself on the head with her fist and sticks at her tongue.
Oh, right. I did. Sorry.
She's a bit of an airhead, isn't she? It is so hard to get a read on this woman.
Well, you're lucky I'm here. I can show you the ins and outs of the ways of the hot springs.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure how it works. Is there any etiquette or something?
Yeah, there is. First, there's going to be a changing area. This is where you, change.
Yeah, like into a bathing suit? Begins to blush.
No, you're supposed to undress.
She means you're supposed to go in naked.
Fumo says matter-of-factly. I turn to her. Wait, like with other people? For the first time, it seems like Makiko realized that Aina and Fumo are there. Miko bows to the two.
Oh, hello there! Are you friends of his?
Yes, we are. I'm Fumo. Nice to meet you.
Gestures to Aina.
And this is Aina.
And it says nothing in response.
Oh. Is Aina shy?
She asks, confused at her not introducing herself.
No, she just doesn't speak English.
Letting out a oh in realization, she turns to Aina and smiles.
Hajimemashita! Makiko desu! Anata no namae wa nan desu ka?
Japanese causes Aina to put on a smile.
はい、はじめました。アイナです。よろしくお願いします。
Upon finishing introductions, Makiko turns back to me.
So, how do you know these two?
She asks in a not so subtle manner. Oh, we were friends when we were little. Their families moved to the USA, but had to move back here a few years later. We haven't seen each other in around 20 years. Thought we'd catch up. I lie through my teeth. Scary thing is, I think I'm getting pretty good at it. At the very least, considering her facial reaction, Makiko seems to swallow it hook, line, and sinker.
Oh, that makes sense.
I turn back to Makiko. So, now the introduction's over, what's this about no clothes in there? Being pulled back to the earlier topic, Makiko seems right back out of her comfort zone.
Oh, well, you don't have to. You can wear what's called a modesty towel around your waist when you go in.
She says, pushing her two pointed fingers together, once again blushing. Right, I'll do that then. Assuming we're separated by genders, though, right? Makiko blushes flushily and throws her fist down.
Of course we are!
She says loudly, red as a tomato. Oh, okay. I mean, that makes sense. I just wanted to be sure. This seems to calm Makiko down. Oh, what? My facial tracking's not working. Ah, there we go. Anything else I should know about?
Well, I mean, there's vending machines where you can get milk and drinks afterwards. And you don't want to stay in there too long. Think of it like a hot tub.
Okay. Right, gotcha. Makiko points to the entrance.
Well, let's head in.
Alright, huh. Oh, right, yeah. 4 of us then step inside the building. As I walk to the front, I hear some commotion going on. Watashi no sugi ga hate konate du umidesu? I let out a sigh. That voice could only belong to one person. Looking ahead, I guarantee, yep, it's her. A bit childish, I sneak up behind the woman. Having problems, Kotone? Suddenly, as if I were spring-loaded shoes, Kotone pops up several feet in the air. Uso falls off her shoulder and lands directly on my head. Upon landing, she whips around to see me.
Huh? What? Why did you?
She cuts herself off, though, as she sees Uso sitting on top of my head. Rolling her eyes, she reaches up and grabs the rabbit.
I swear, you are hopeless. What are you doing here?
I shrug. I keep hearing that when in Japan you have to try the hot spring. Placing Uso back on her shoulder, she crosses her arms and nods up and down.
True, true. It's a Japanese tradition.
For the first time, she notices the trio of women behind me. She freezes for a moment and then gestures to them.
Are they with you?
Oh, right. Sorry about that. This is Makiko. I work with her. She told me about this place, and these are Aina and Fumo. They're friends that used to live in the US near me, but moved back about 20 years ago. We just met up. The three of them properly introduce themselves in Japanese. Aina, on the other hand, says something which causes both Kotone and Makiko to blush. Immediately, though, Fumo says something which seems to make both of them seem a little less tense. Annoyed, I turn to Fumo. What the hell did Aina say? Fumo looks at me.
Basically that you're destined lovers.
My eyebrow twitches. Kindly tell Aina to stop with that crap.
I already basically said that.
Tell her I say that we are not lovers, we will never be lovers, and to stop embarrassing me or she can leave. Most smirks.
Gladly.
Who does the exact when I ask, which causes a bit of trouble, distress in Aina. Good. I turn to Kotone. So, what are we going to do about Uso? As I turn back to her, I realize that Uso is no longer on her shoulder. It gives me her best fake expression.
Uso? I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, whatever works. Turn back to the four of them. Well, wish me luck. Hopefully I don't screw this up. I say in a self-deprecating way. Makiko pumps her fist.
You can do it!
I turn and begin to walk away and hear Makiko's voice a moment later.
Oh, I almost forgot!
I pivot and look back at her. Yeah?
Make sure you wash yourself first.
Wait, what? Kotone chuckles.
Oh my god, he really was about to go into the bath without washing. You are such an American.
Thanks, Kotone. Appreciate it. I say in my driest of tones. Thanks, Kotone. Appreciate it. With that, I head into the changing area. As I do so, Aina and Fumo make sure to head to the girls at the same time so they don't end up getting too far away from me. I step into the changing area and see baskets lining the walls. Seriously, they just leave the stuff out here? Doesn't seem very secure. Well, here I go, I guess. So I begin to undress myself for finally sliding a modesty towel. Wow, this really doesn't leave much to the imagination, does it? I asked to no one in particular. Heading over to the washing area, I'm surprised to see it's pretty much deserted. I seem to be the only person there. At least that's in my favor. I head over to one of the stools and begin to wash myself with one of these locations. God, this is so weird. I mumble as I continue the ritual. Finishing to rinse myself off, I head over towards the actual hot spring. Once again, I seem to be in luck as there doesn't seem to be anybody else in the hot spring. So, easily, I walk over to the edge of the water and ease my way in. I let a soft exhale as I escape as I step inside. Letting myself slowly sink in, I feel myself relaxing more by the second. Okay, this is nice.
I know, right?
I hear the voice through the wall behind me. Jeez. I balk in shock. I hear a giggle from the other side.
Sorry, didn't mean to startle you.
It's okay, so you guys are right behind this wall?
Yep. Everything go okay?
Yeah, washing was a little weird, but this feels great.
How is it weird?
Well, you know, baths are meant for cleaning.
Baths here are meant more for relaxation, not cleanliness.
Oh, I guess that makes sense.
How else would you share the water?
Wait, what?
You know, you heat up the water, then the whole family will go in and use it one at a time.
Yeah, that actually sounds really gross.
That's an American for you.
Right. Anyways, I'm gonna relax for a minute.
Right. We'll leave you alone.
With that, they drop their volume. Oh, thank God. I'm sure for myself as I begin to relax in the warmth of the hot spring.
It really is nice to meet the three of you.
Oh my. Oh my. Okay. 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 I like where this is going. Fuck.
Well, you're certainly peppy.
Well, of course. Normally, I'm here alone. So it's nice to talk to some other girls.
It's been ages since I've been to a hot spring in the in this area. I'm used to the ones in Kyoto.
Fumo shoots Aina a warning.
Oh, you two are from Kyoto?
Yes, we lived in Kyoto until recently. We just so happened to move out here a short time ago.
So, you three are old friends?
Yes,
see
we
talent
were
coming
little
in
kids
handy.
together, but then our father had to move back to Japan, so we had to go with him.
Makes sense.
And you didn't keep tabs after that?
Here and there, but our lives moved on.
For you, maybe. But for me, I know that he and I will be together, and...
You know he basically hates you, right?
He does not. He's just shy.
You keep telling yourself that.
Does he really not like her?
Fumo puts up a finger.
Hey, sorry to interrupt, but Aina wants to know if she can come over.
You tell Aina that if she comes over, I honest to God am leaving. Fumo shrugs.
I'll tell her. Aina, he says don't you dare come over there. You sure you're not into men?
Oh my God, Fumo, for the last time, no, I'm not into guys. And can I just have 5 minutes apiece?
Oh my god, he sounds so hilarious when he's mad.
Well, I'm not sure if we should tease him so much. I mean, he really might get mad if we do that.
Oh, come on. What's life without a little fun? Well, someone's cranky. Would you like me to come over and give you a massage?
Point I can tell what they're doing. It's actually incredibly obvious. It's childish, but should I just play along? I'm gonna go ahead and do another save, and we'll call this choice 5. Okay. This was the most condescending one, but I feel like we'll be going the Kotane red if we do that, which is not the red I'm going for, so... so I'm going to have to say, no, I'm 100% fine over here. It's Kotane, totally fine, relaxing enough as it is. Stop for a moment. I do appreciate the offer. Kotane blushes.
I wasn't serious, you jerk. I was just teasing.
Ah, okay.
What do you mean, okay? I really was joking. Now I wouldn't even come over there if you asked me to.
Wait, so you would have before?
What? No, I mean, I just, of course not.
Begins to flail her arms. Maybe now I can get some peace and quiet. Bitch, got ya.
Are we sure he's not going to try to peek over here? I mean, not that I would mind.
He wouldn't do that, and you know it.
Fumo's right. He isn't that kind of guy.
Yeah, there's no way Mr. American would try that.
Isn't that kind of a waste, though?
What are you talking about, Aina?
Well, he's over there, all by himself. Shouldn't we at least check on him?
He's fine, Aina. You just want to go over there.
So what if I do?
I don't think he would be okay with that.
Well, I'm going to go find out.
Oh no. Oh no.
Wait, Aina, where are you going? Get back here!
Before she could stop, Aina climbed up the side of the fence that separates the two sides as she looks over the edge.
Hiya!
I have my eyes closed as I'm laying back and relaxing. I swear to God that better not be Aina. I say with a mixture of irritation and disdain.
Aina, get back here!
It's okay, it's okay. He's wearing a towel. Ah, he doesn't look too bad without his shirt.
Oh, I want to see.
Oh no.
What? Not you too, Makiko!
Come on, Kotane. Aren't you interested?
What? Why would I be interested in what he looks like without a shirt?
Aina, get back here!
Fuma begins to climb the wall after her. Kotane is quickly left by herself.
Oh, fine. Jeez, I'm coming already.
Soon enough, all four of the girls are peeping over the side of the fence.
Whoa, she's right.
Are you sure this fence can hold all four of us?
It's fine.
As she says this, though, in mid-word, a crack can be heard. All four of them look at the fence and back at each other. Another crack. Then, without further warning, the gate splits. All four of the girls let out a shriek. What are they doing now? As I remove the washcloth from my face, I soon see the form of a woman falling towards me. Without thinking, I stand up and quickly open my arms to catch her. The woman lands on my arms. I nearly fall over under the sudden weight. As the moment of shock passes, I soon realize my arms that I'm holding. Aina. Getting a quick glimpse of her body, I close my eyes.
助かりました。強いですね。ああ、ロマンチックですわ。あなたは私のヒーロー。
I immediately drop her into the water. I hear sputtering from beneath me, turn around and walk towards the changing area. Bring my eyes as I step out. Ugh, I thought that hot springs were supposed to be relaxing. I do some general distance judging my head. As long as I don't wander too far off, I should be fine. Besides, I haven't heard any loud crashes or anything like that. I shrug. Probably the first one out is the girls are more than likely still either there or getting changed. Not moving but far away for obvious reasons, I take in the layout of the building. There doesn't seem to be a lot of people here. Clearly, I get bored of looking at nothing. Should I look for one of them? Well, we can't look for Aina? I'll just say no one then. See, right now I really don't want to talk to anyone. After that fiasco I just went through, I think being by myself would be the best right now. I've only been stuck with these two for a few weeks, but it feels honestly like forever. I found myself a seat to let myself sink into the chair. I let out a long exhale as I absentmindedly stare at the ceiling.
Honey!
A voice comes from nowhere. I really hold myself back from letting out a very unflattering expletive. Then I proceed to rub my face with my hands. What is it, Aina? What do you want? Sure enough, I tilt my head upwards, and there it is, Aina bending over me all the way a little too close for my comfort.
こんばんは, honey.
Lowering my annoyed eyelids to half, I reach into my bag and pull out my Japanese phrase book. None to show. Without warning, her hand comes down and rips the phrase book from my hands. Looking through it, she goes to the Japanese to English section and seemingly finds what she's looking
I
for.
be you with.
She looks at me, and seeing my reaction, of course, understanding swells up with pride. Yeah, I remember the next word as I cross my mind. Doshite. Puffing at her cheeks, she flips through the book again.
You, me, together, talk.
Snatch the book back from her, I flip through the pages. Watashi ha shode wa arimasen. Hearing this, Aina puts the seductive smile on her face and she moves into me. Suddenly she lets out a noise.
Yeah.
She says this very over-the-top way as she starts to fall on top of me. Quickly, I shift myself to the side just before she were to land. I wince as I hear her hit in the chair right where I used to be. I glance over only to nearly burst out laughing as I see her face planted in the back of the chair and her butt sticking straight up in the air. She's bent over at almost a 45-degree angle. Before I can even react, she pushes herself up with her hands and turns to me. At this, I can't hold myself back anymore. I actually start to laugh as there's big red lines in the center of her face shaped with a chair design. She turns to me and puffs out her cheeks with irritation, with almost comical tears in the corner of her eyes.
どうしてそんなことをしました?
Slams her foot down in irritation as she clenches her fist. Meanwhile, I'm too busy laughing and can't even respond.
やめて。面白くないよ。
After a few moments of me still laughing, she proceeds to lose all sense of her cool and starts flailing her arms around like a child. Of course she does.
やめて。ひどいよね。
Now looking far more childish than she should for her age, she looks down at me, her cheeks puffed and her arms to her side. Seeing her like that, I can't help but shake my head. I exhale audibly. Fine, hang on a second. Take a few steps to walk over towards the vending machine. After putting in some money, I take the drinks from the bottom. I turn back and walk towards Aina, handing her a bottle of milk. Here. Aina's face immediately changes to that of a confused one, all irritation disappearing.
これは何ですか?
Through the book for my furry hand. Gyu, I say without much certainty, as I flipping on a switch, Aina's face lights up. Oh, didn't mean to click on Windows.
牛乳?
She reaches out and grabs the bottle with lightning speed.
牛乳が大好きだよ。
She begins to rub her face against the milk bottle as if she were a cat. You call me out, game? Okay then. I have no idea what else to say. Anna looks back at me with a slight blush on her face.
私の歯には本当に優しい。
Opening up the lid, she looks at the milk as if it were a prize and begins to drink it.
おいしい。
Her blush is now even more
い
pronounced.
やー、とってもおいしい。
Slowly, she turns her head up to me. Suddenly, I feel the mood shift of the air.
何?
She says in a sultry, come hither voice.
ここに来て。
Every syllable is broken as if she forms every sound specifically. I give off a nervous laugh. Keko desu. I slowly begin to back up as she advances on me.
いえ、あなたは私の兄。
As she comes closer, I am shocked to see her eyes look completely different. Her voice once brilliant, her once brilliant gold eyes now look as cloudy as if the lights are on, but nobody's home. So backing up, I fumble through my book. Aina Yamate. She smiles coyly and waves her fingers, tisking me. Tisking me? Is that right? Is that right?
いいえ、ここに来て。
Suddenly, I can feel myself being physically drawn towards her, as if an invisible set of wires are tied all around me. For the first time since meeting her, I'm honestly terrified. I look around for some way to defend myself. The only thing in grabbing just seems to be a chair. In a panic, I grab it and move it between us. To my surprise, Aina does stop for a moment and looks at the wooden chair. She slowly, carefully puts her hand on it. Oh, excuse me. More like tisk tisk. Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay, that makes sense. As she does, this chair itself begins to rumble before turning a darker shade of brown. A few seconds later, green vines begin to emerge from the chair's leg and back to the roots shooting out and digging deep into the floor. In less than 30 seconds, the once dead wooden chair has transformed into a small tree, now rooted to the floor. She casually looks from the tree and then back to me. Invisible wire begins to slowly bring me towards her. Slowly, I'm moving closer and closer to her, 10 feet. Then 5. After a few moments, I'm within arm's reach. Her arm reaches out towards me, and when suddenly a flash of darkness appears. Instantly, I can move my body again. I use that moment to move backwards as quickly as possible.
I seriously can't leave you alone for 5 minutes.
He says, extremely irritated. Oh, Fumo, thank God. What the hell is going on?
That's exactly the question I was going to ask you.
I have no idea what's going on. She was just acting like normal Aina. Well, as normal as Aina can be. She drank some milk and...
Wait, you gave Aina milk?
Well, yeah, but...
You really are an idiot. You can't give Aina milk. Are you crazy?
What? Why not?
Do I really have to explain it to you? Aina is a spirit of fertility. Giving her milk is like injecting her with a massive aphrodisiac.
Well, how the hell was I supposed to know that? I ask, letting my annoyance cut through the situation. Fumo shoots a look over at me and shakes her head.
Whatever. Let me take care of this.
And with that, Fumo shoots forward faster than I'd seen her move before towards Aina. Oh, excuse me.
そんなことしないでよ。一緒に来てね。絶対楽しいから。
I can't see from behind, but it appears Fumo responds to this with a scoff. Snapping her fingers, Fumo's hand surrounds itself in the black flame.
Aina, urusai!
Wheeling her arm back, Fumo brings her hand forward towards a shocked Aina's face. Without any sense of self-preservation seeming to come into play here, her hand connects with Aina's face in a full-on bitch slap. Damn. The force causes Aina's head to turn sideways for just a moment. Some of the black flame from Fumo's hand transfers to her face. She then, as quickly as the flame appeared on Fumo's hand, it vanishes as she replaces her hand to her side. Blah. Oh my God, I can't read today. As the small bit of flame on her cheek evaporates, focus returns to Aina's eyes as she turns back to us, blinking.
何？どうしたの？
She suddenly feels the pain on her cheek.
痛いよ。
Seeing her back to normal and irritated, Fumo crosses her arms.
Aina, 何をしていましたか？
何？歯に牛乳をくれて。
Fumo puts her fingers to her temple in frustration.
マジかよ、Aina.
Suddenly, as if a realization hits her, she puts her hand to her face.
ごめんね、ふもちゃん。でも、牛乳が大好きです。
She pokes her pointer fingers together. I have no idea what they're talking about, but I can tell that Fumo is definitely chastising her.
私に謝罪しないで。
She then tilts her head towards me.
彼に謝罪して。
Something that Fumo said must have startled her because the moment she says that last thing to her, her face turns pale as she turns to me and begins to bow up and down respectfully.
ごめんなさい。本当にごめんなさい。
Alright, sorry, I had to adjust myself there again for a second. Confused, I put my hands up. It's okay, it's fine, really. Her arms still crossed, Fumo glances back over at me.
If it's really okay, tell her いいですよ。
Well, it really wasn't all that okay, but I really don't want things to be awkward between the two of us, so any more than that, I already are. いいですよ. I say, repeating what Fumo said. Hearing this Japanese come out of my mouth, some color returns to Aina's face. She stands up straight and moves over towards me. I flinch slightly, but try not to make it obvious.
本当にハニーはとっても親切ですね。
Her eyes light up almost as if they instantly become stars. Right, well, I think it's about time we got going, you know, before the staff realizes there's a tree in the middle of the hallway. Turns back to the look at the tree.
Probably the best idea.
Soon enough, all five of us get back together.
So, did you have a good time at your first time in a hot spring?
That depends. Are you supposed to feel even more tired, awkward, and embarrassed? Akio looks at me, genuinely surprised.
What? No, you're supposed to feel better.
He's being sarcastic, Makiko.
Oh, that makes more sense.
Well, it wasn't like it was our fault. Aina's the one who started this. Don't blame us.
I shrug. Oh, I don't blame you three at all. I completely believe you that it was Aina.
Seriously, just...
As if just hearing me, Kotane cuts herself off.
Oh, you do?
Of course I do. This has Aina written all over it.
Well, glad to see you can be reasonable.
She turns away in an effort to not have me see her blush. Having heard her name, Aina asks him a question in Japanese. Fumo seems a little too eager to
あ
respond.
れ？でも私のせいじゃないです。
She begins to flail her arms in frustration. Well, if that's the Japanese, if that's the Japanese relaxation method, I'd hate to see what you guys do to get pumped up.
Now you're being silly. It's usually a lot less eventful than that.
Still, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't. If I said it wasn't interesting. I wouldn't mind trying it again. Maybe, though, next time I could have less people falling on me.
You really are strange. Most guys' dream is to have beautiful girls fall on them.
I'm not going to respond to that because I honestly to God believe whatever I say will be the wrong thing I said to say. So, just gonna say nothing.
That's honestly probably for the best.
Yeah, I am pretty tired. I'm actually gonna end here soon, Claire. I didn't sleep the best last night. Either way, I'm gonna head home now. I'll see you at work tomorrow, Makiko. Kotane, I'll see you around, all right? Makiko nods.
Right! See you at work! Have a good night!
Oh, yeah. I'll be holding my breath until I see you next.
Seriously, bro.
Gaikokujin no Sensei!
And I think this is a good place to save. So we'll do this on 9. Let's put after the onsen. Bam. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I am pretty tired. I should probably go take a rest for a bit. Look at you, Claire, being the One-sama and looking out for me. But yeah, no, I hope you guys are enjoying the game so far. I'm probably gonna do this again next Saturday. Yeah, like basically just go from there. And then for Tuesday, it was fun watching. I'm glad you had fun. I had fun too. On Tuesday, I have probably more Scott Pilgrim with Sky and Kurama, which you can find there, as well as we're gonna do some Knockout City this week because we couldn't last week. So we're gonna do that because we haven't played season 6 yet. So we're gonna start playing that. And guys, if you're interested, Knockout City is now free. So speaking of interest, if you guys are interested in this game, you can find it here for both Steam and Itch. So you can get it there. It does have some not safe for work stuff, but there's a stream. I'm playing the streamer friendly version, so you guys can't see any of the bits, unfortunately. But if you want to see it, it's available there. Let me see if there's somebody I can raid. Let's see. Let's see who's live right now. See Esky. Let's see, is there anybody else live? Get those. Yes. Let's see. Twitch. Let's see. Let's see. There. Guppy's doing power wash. Kerbenak's doing VR chat. Dad is doing Shadowverse. I guess Asky's not live anymore. You know what? I haven't rated Guppy in a long time. Oh, are you really? Are you fucking kidding me? Wow. An ad with Amber Heard in it. That's not what I wanted to see. Thanks, Claire. But yeah, I think we're gonna raid. Why is it still going? How long is this fucking ad? Okay.
He gets really like picky about his audio.
Yeah, Guppy's playing yeah, she's playing Power Wash. You guys don't know Guppy. She's a she's a fish VTuber. She real cute. Talked to her a couple of times. She's real nice. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to raid Guppy. Guys, if you are subbed, you can use this raid message. If you're not subbed, you can use this one instead. you can find my Discord server here, where you can come and chat and hang out and join Toku Tuesdays on Tuesday nights if you're a supporter. You find my social medias here and my YouTube channels here, where I post new content. Including the trailer for this game is on my review channel. And on my Let's Play channel, I have some new gameplay videos going up. Once again, rate message if you're subbed. If you're not subbed, you can use this instead. I'll see you guys on Tuesday for some more Scott Pilgrim vs. the World with my babes. And that would be these two lovely people right here. So anyways, I hope you guys are enjoying this. We'll probably do more of this on Saturday. Take care, comb your hair in a rush, use a brush, don't do drugs, stay in school, eat your teeth. I'll see you next time on Cheat. And yeah, have a good day. Just like Claire said, have a good day. Have a good day to you as well. This raid's going to happen here pretty soon. So it'll happen, and then we'll do the thing. And yeah, all right. I'll see you guys later. I'll see you next time. Goodbye. Bye. 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 Okay, now the countdown timer's actually started. Okay, I'll see you guys next time. See ya. Bye.
Okay, there we go. I moved from Boston. I haven't seen it.